Okay, if you are using a team plan, can any members be on a free plan? Yes. So if I have 4 teachers, 3 of them purchased, one of the seats, that person will just remain on the free seat. That's correct. Okay, adding to Caitlin's example. For example, if I have a TLC head teacher who gets a team plan, can she then create lessons for both a Spanish teacher and an ELL teacher who are on free plans with their team? Yes. So the team space will still be, the workspace will still be available to that person on the free plan. In fact, if anyone purchases any plan on the team, they'll have access to create the unlimited folders. You can still add unlimited content to that one folder on the free team. So yeah, it won't matter if she's on the free plan. She'll still have access to your activities inside of the team space.
Yeah, the team spaces were designed to be super flexible, so you can set it up like whatever works for your organization. There might be cases where you want to just have like the Spanish department. There might be cases where anyone that's teaching a new language wants to be in a team space. So it's really meant to be flexible, and you can use it like any way that makes sense.
Okay, should we address Rebecca's question here? Once a team is created, say with 2 teachers on a free plan, can one of those teachers update their seat status at any time in the year? Yes. So once you purchase those seats, they're available to be assigned at any time. Now, you're creating a subscription for those number of seats. So the day you purchase it is the day that it starts. And anytime after that, you can immediately assign any teacher those seats.
It's super common to start with a free team too when you're getting going, because a lot of times folks are getting a purchase order and they have the free team there, they're setting it up, and then they're taking that quote, getting the purchase order, and then coming back and doing the checkout. So in the meantime, you can use the free plan, add more people to it, and start getting it set up.
Okay, Maestra Moreno, I can address that immediately after this, and I'm going to look into that, and we'll get that solved. We might have to just double check what's going on there with your Teacher Pro plan to make sure that's turned on in the new system. Okay, what other questions do we have on teams and orgs? I don't know, is there any other takeaways that I missed explaining the difference between the two, or?
I think that the big thing is previously we had the organization plan, which was priced per student per year. And the reason that we've introduced this team plan, there was a lot of cases where a world language department being priced per student per year made it cost prohibitive. And we wanted to have an option where we could get away from pricing per student, because it can change. And some teachers are working with over 250 students, as we've seen here in this chat. So the team plan really is a flexible option where it's priced per teacher per year, and you can purchase the seats based on how much usage you have.
So back to Rebecca. So I think if I understand this correctly, if you're on a core or an advanced seat on the team plan and you run out of credits, can you get more? Is that what you meant? Because if you do need to top off credits, you do have the credit top off available if you were to run out of them. Maybe I'm misunderstanding, but let us know in the chat if that answers the question.
In a case where, let's say we had a core, we're on the team plan and we have a core seat and we ran out of credits, you could do the credit top off and purchase them yourselves. It is possible to upgrade that seat, or
once you have a seat for yourself, you can switch teachers on those seats, but the seats that you purchase for that particular year and subscription are pretty much set. If there is some issues, obviously contact us and we can see what we can do to help you with that. But that's the way it works in the system currently. Okay, so the grading options. Yes, all grading options are available to all plans, including the free plans. So really what the only limits you have now are just how many assignments you can create then, depending on the plan you have. So all grading methods, all page types available to everyone now on all plans. Okay, would it be correct to say that as long as one member maintains a paid membership, the Teamspace stays active for us to share and access across those resources across our team? Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yep. Now we buy 2 seats and one of our 4 teachers wants to upgrade their seat status.
Okay. So in this scenario, Rebecca, we would have 4 people in a team. Two were purchased. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can add seats in the future, by the way. So if I were to share my screen again, I'm not sharing. Mind if I switch over here? There you go. So this isn't an active team. So let's say, for example, only 2 people wanted at the beginning of the year. You can actually go later. So you'll notice this unlimited is set right there because I already have those 2 seats. Now, if I buy them mid-year, this will actually be prorated. So let's see what happens here. It's going to load the proration. So this is an upgrade quote, and I can get a quote for that just like I did for creating the new plan, or I can immediately upgrade now by adding a credit card and just purchasing right away. So this is really nice, in case someone wants to join later. And like I mentioned, it will be prorated. So you can already see a little time has passed. So, save 2 cents on the plan now since, 10 minutes has passed. But yeah, so if you were to buy that mid-year, it would actually be half the price technically because it's prorated due to the time of the subscription. But that would end the same time as the original subscription was set up. So just prorated. One thing we didn't mention is if you do have a plan as well, this is probably not relevant since we're at the beginning of the school year, you can deal with the renewal from here as well by generating a quote and kind of going through that same process. How can we use this with IB rubrics? The scoring is different. So you can create any custom rubric you want from the builder to grade your students' responses.
Should we show rubric creation just for anyone that hasn't seen that? We didn't cover that today.
Sure. I'm going to create a new activity, and to show a rubric, I'm going to create an open response here. So click the automatic grading. I have standards-based set as my default. I'm going to click on rubric here, and you're going to notice there's this kind of speakable standard world language set there. You're going to want to click on that. And I'm either going to want to pick from one of the templates. You can look at what you recently used, my own, and then some saved ones. So once you have a Teamspace and you start saving them, they'll start appearing here. So I don't have an IB rubric to share with you, but you can make one. So I'm going to go create new rubric. And if you wanted to, you can actually upload a PDF of an existing IB rubric you have, and it'll do its best to pull off all of the criterion. However, if you just want to give it a description, you can do that here too. I'm not super familiar with how the IB rubric works exactly. And this will kind of just generate a nice rough draft for you, and you can go in and edit it as you need to. Obviously, adjust these, based on what your needs are. Think of every rubric as a prompt for the AI. It's going to see the full prompt. It's going to pick the grading criteria based on the score information that you put in there. Okay. So again, I don't know how well aligned this is for IB, but if you want something really IB aligned, you'd want to tell exactly what you wanted there in the description, in the box, or upload a PDF. So here, if I want to adjust all of these different score criteria, the names, and then exactly the definition, the score definitions here, you're going to want to make those adjustments. And do note, like, since we are using, a machine to do this, AI, right? It will take these things pretty literally. So you can toy around with adjusting these prompts and the score criteria to make sure you're getting the results that you want. And of course, when you're ready to go, I don't know if you have anything else to add about that, but
no, typically with IB AP, if you give it a good prompt, the AI can typically generate it. In that case, it just did 3 levels to it, which I would imagine is not correct. So we might need to adjust the prompt. But usually uploading a PDF is the easiest way to take a rubric that you're already using and get it into Speakable.
So I've got the prompt here, and I've got my new IB rubric, quasi IB rubric, not a great one, but and then I assign that to my students, and now they're rubric graded.
You cut me out of the screen, Andrew. Very nice.
Okay, what other questions can we answer for you?
And if you do have more questions about the plans and the pricing, we're definitely happy to answer those questions. So feel free to reach out to our team. We're in the chat in the bottom right of the app. You can email us at hello@speakable.io as well.
Yeah, I really appreciate everyone's time. I know you're probably wrapping up summer break and taking some time to join us today. It really means a lot to us. And again, these updates, we're really excited to make sure that Speakable is more accessible to everybody, including the people on the free plans to try out auto grading. Give your students, a little bit of feedback every month, and for whatever reason, if your school is unable to purchase, you'll still have access to those and could even top it off as well. And then, of course, we're really excited to release our proficiency reports and proficiency tracking over time. I personally think it's an innovative thing in the space, and we're excited to start working with our users on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the listen and repeat, those activities are completely free, and they don't use credits. Credits are used when we're using the AI feedback and the AI grading. So on any open response, if you turn on AI grading, which you couldn't set it to manual, then it's going to enable it's going to use credits. And the short answer will use 1 credit, but multiple choice, listen and repeat, adding media pages, those don't consume any credits.
Yeah, and the way we design the credit system is so that, like, short answer, you can use a lot of short answer on the free plan. And the reason why we're able to do that is because it uses a lot less, it costs a lot less on the AI for us. However, the advanced grading uses more AI, and therefore we have it consume more credits. But for all practical purposes, that means on a free plan, you have 100 short answers that you could assign per month. So you also now have really quite a bit of access to AI auto grading on the free plan as well. So yeah, just short answer and the open responses are the only ones that use AI credits. Everything else is free.
And the customers I've been working with are kind of thinking about this by grade levels. So if you're teaching level 1 learners, you're going to have a lot of features that are available to you that don't consume credits. So listen and repeat, short answer, those aren't going to consume a lot of credits. And it's situations where students aren't producing a lot of writing or speaking. So when they're just beginning. Now, as you get up to the higher levels, and students are starting to produce a lot of speech, are starting to produce a lot of writing, that tends to be the activities that are going to use quite a bit more of the credits. So when planning for, a team plan, if you're deciding which seats to use, that can be kind of a good way to think about it.